Hello, children. Sir Malcolm here. Jane and I have just finished our exploration of the verdant realm, and I would like to show you 5 plants that you can find in your own backyard. Let's take a closer look. The first plant I want to show you today is chickweed. This low-growing weedy plant doesn't normally get taller than 12 inches, 1 foot. It's got opposite ovate leaves and small hairs along the stem. It also has a very beautiful small flower. And though it appears to have 10 petals, it's actually only 5, and each one is split down the middle. The second weed I want to show you is the violet. This is another low-growing plant. It's got heart-shaped leaves, but not always, and a slight serrated edge on those leaves. The stems are nodding stems, so they look like an upside-down J. And the flower, you can see here, has 5 petals, quite beautiful. Both the flower and the leaves on the violet are edible, but the leaves are most succulent when they're young. A delicious addition to any wild salad. This here, children, is the third weed I want to show you today. This is cleaver, also known as bidibit, or goosegrass, or bedstraw. It actually has many different names. It's so common all over the world. Some of the particularities of cleaver are its whorled leaves that are quite narrow, and it's covered all over with incredibly sticky, hooked hairs. When you pick it and throw it, stick to absolutely anything. Cleaver means to cleave, as in to stick. Cleavers have incredibly small flowers, so small you might not be able to see them. But if you find some, they are beautiful, creamy white color with 4 petals. I like cleavers, but they're much better cooked than raw because of all of those glabrous and sticky hairs. They also make an excellent and refreshing tea. Now, I wasn't planning on sharing this one with you, but it's so gorgeous I couldn't help myself. This is sorrel, which means sour. It has these distinctive shamrock-esque leaves and these gorgeous yellow flowers. And you can see all the flowers on this plant are pointing towards the sun. Here's the 4th plant I wanted to show you. This is wild onion. It's got a nice long stem. You can see that the color fades down at the bottom. And the stem itself is nice and hollow. Take a look at that. But one of the best and most unmistakable ways to identify wild onion is the pungent, odory aroma. Now, it's not necessary to dig up an onion in order to identify it. You can just snip off the tops for culinary use, but I wanted to pull one up in order to show you. How lovely is that? It's got this little papery bit on the outside. Let's see. It smells very oniony. Now, take a look at this color. You can see it fades very nicely from the green into the white. Now, something you should really know about Jane is she loves wild onions. She likes to take the tops and munch them constantly, making a violently oniony perfumed breath exude around the tent. I'll eat some too. Very good. This is the last plant I wanted to show you, children. This is plantain. Some distinctive features of it are that it grows out from a central point and that the leaves have parallel veins that run from the very tip to the base. You can see they're raised up and they're quite ridgy. And if I'm very careful, sometimes you can get them to pull. Oh, you see a little bit there. They have tiny little hairs that when you pull them apart, you can get them to stretch. Now, the young leaves of plantain can be quite tasty, but for most of the year it's a very bitter plant. Most people know it for its medicinal uses. If you get an ouchie, bee sting, ant bite, anything like that, you can take a little bit of the leaf chew it up to make a primitive poultice. And you take that chewed up plant material and just put it right on whatever ails you and hold it on there. And it helps make it feel much better. Thank you for joining me for an in-depth exploration of 5 of my favorite spring edibles. Have fun looking for these in your own backyards and happy exploring.